Esteban Munoz, as you heard during the ring introductions, a regional WBA title on the line as well. So another opportunity for advancement in the career of Giovanni Marquez or Esteban Munoz if he could pull off the upset here tonight. Right away, guys, you look at the difference in the body composition. Giovanni Marquez just looks like the naturally much larger fighter.
Indeed. Munoz is coming off with 3 straight wins, trying to make it a 4th here.
But this is a good matchup for Marquez because Munoz could fight. And I don't know if he noticed that Scooby was staring him down, Marquez.
I'm pretty sure he did.
If he did notice, then I know he's going to want to perform. He's going to want to put on a real good performance and make a statement.
Especially if he wants that fight next.
Munoz is a guy who's always just had natural talent. He only had about 20 amateur fights, but in his 3rd professional fight, he just stepped in and took on George Acosta, who's a pretty good fighter with 5 days' notice, went the distance against him. So again, one of those fighters who's sort of battling time and lack of amateur experience. Right now, doing some decent work, landing a couple body shots. But back comes Giovanni Marquez with a good combination.
And you see, he's definitely a natural, like you said. He's skillful, he's fast, he has it. You know, it's all about circumstances sometimes, you know, the training that you're able to get, you know, the time that you're able to put towards the sport.
Especially in this sport, a lot to do with circumstances. He did got some work in with Barboza. Barboza getting ready for Teofimo Lopez.
He took part in Barboza's last sparring session before Barboza's fight against Teofimo Lopez in Times Square as Marquez lands a nice body shot there and as Munoz temporarily backed in the corner. Quick combination there from Munoz.
Got fast hands.
Maybe like, not as fast as his idol, but a bit like Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, he's blinking a lot. I think he got maybe a thumb in the eye, or maybe he just got hit in the
Vaseline
eye. And it's bothering him. And I'm talking about Munoz, that left eye.
Yeah, he's been blinking it early in the round. Has skill, and he's shown it so far.
Something's up with the eyes of Munoz.
I don't love the way he's lunging in, though, to try to land those shots without kind of establishing some distance.
Manny Pacquiao's his favorite fighter.
That is true.
And that's actually how Manny Pacquiao jumps in.
Yeah, falling short with the power hand, then coming back with the left hand is Munoz, who's doing some decent work here, but Marquez has been very consistent with these shots to the body.
He's doing some quick work, but his hands are low, and he's susceptible to that left hook.
You know, Munoz didn't even want to watch the fight between Manny Pacquiao with his friends Marquez. I can't think of his name now that he broke his eye socket.
Antonio Margarito.
Antonio Margarito. His friends made him watch the fight, and that's actually what made him a fight fan and want to go to the gym.
Yeah, he beat them in video games, won the money, and then they said, hey, that was the money we had for the pay-per-view tonight. He wasn't a boxing fan, but he said, I have to be a good friend. I got to give the money back. And it started now a lifelong journey in the sport.
Oh, my God. Nice. Funny what this sport can do to you after watching one fight.
Maybe he was sold by the Free Nelly concert on that broadcast. Maybe that's what did it for
him. Decent round from both guys in that first round. I think both guys got some work in.
Round 2 underway.
And I think what the first round looked to me was Marquez is just taking his time because he's been guilty of, you know, just trying to get the knockout, like I mentioned Nathan Lugo as well.
Nice clubbing right hand there from Marquez.
Shots better like that.
Looks in great shape, too, Marquez.
Hard shots, too.
If you've ever been in the Raul Marquez gym, it is pretty consistently about 110 degrees in there. If you can survive a training camp in that gym,
yes,
it says a lot about your mental fortitude.
Maybe I need to go there to lose some weight, Corey.
Right.
Tell you what, Munoz Munoz is showing decent defense as well. He's not really getting hit with any clean shots on the ropes there.
Yeah, but he's open for the shots. Just I'm waiting for the left hook to come from Marquez.
Capitalize on that.
Yeah, it's there. Good jab to the body by Marquez. I like this Marquez better. That's calmer,
pacing himself,
and he's pacing himself, and he's picking the shots a little differently.
His father Raul said it that was something that they were specifically working on, pacing himself more, and also working on the inside game.
Right.
Yeah, Raul Marquez was talking about wanting Giovanni, when he can, to sort of stay in the fire a little longer when he works on the inside, but he was talking about how, there is a little bit of difference in identity between himself and his son. That there's the left hook you were calling for. He ran into it, and this is a big opportunity for Marquez here in the second round.
It was there. He saw it, executed perfectly. Hurt him.
And still taking his time and not being overzealous here after hurting Munoz.
Good point.
Munoz lands a little sweeping left hook.
So now Munoz got his hands up because that left hook really hurt him.
I tell you guys, whoever, kind of adds patches to trunks, they need to do a better job. Too often we see the patch for the sanctioned body hanging off. That's the WBA.
I think the left eye is bleeding of Munoz now.
A clubbing right hand there from Marquez. See blood coming from the right eye of Esteban Munoz.
Oh, right. It's the right eye, yep.
So whatever he was blinking about before, he has an additional reason. As the lights flicker here in the Owl's Nest, they're probably flickering in the eyes of Munoz at the moment, too.
Somebody is leaning on the wall and hit the lights by mistake.
Well, this man's trying to lean on Giovanni Marquez for a potential fight between these two. Kurt Scooby, an interested observer, and he has been following Giovanni Marquez everywhere he goes.
He's giving him the okay sign, but that's like giving him credit.
At 135. I heard you said Giovanni Marquez mentioned my name. What's up? Let's fight for pink slips. Let's fight for overtime pink slips.
There you have it, Gio. Congrats, Scoop. Guys,
pink slips.
Moving forward, Scoop, big win,
Giovanni Marquez.
You want that next?
I want that now? What you mean? Oh, I'm ready to be known.
So if he was here,
Sean Davis, Shakur Davis, Giovanni, I want all of them. It's time. I don't get paid. I don't get paid for overtime. I get paid by overtime.
Fight for pink slips. Wow.
Kurt Scooby looking to deliver a pink slip to Giovanni Marquez, just like he delivered that contract to him in Big Bear a couple of months ago. And perhaps we'll see those two in an OTX ring in the near future. Of course, provided Giovanni Marquez can get the victory here tonight against Esteban Munoz, so things are looking very good on that front.
Indeed. McWaters told us, no, Scooby didn't have a real contract that he was proposing to Gio,
but that they would happily take the fight.
Absolutely.
Marquez is looking good, but I don't want to take away from how competitive Munoz is making this fight. He's looking good as well in spots.
Yeah, Munoz seems like he has a cut on his right eye. Little nick there.
Yeah, that was produced in the previous round. And again, adding to whatever the situation he's dealing with in terms of his vision. Every once in a while, Munoz is using that athleticism, that kind of springy footwork to get himself into position and get a couple combinations off. But this has just been good, consistent work from Giovanni Marquez, just keeping Munoz at the end of his shots.
Yeah, leaving the ground with both feet is dangerous for any fighter. And nice. See what happened to Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez. You don't leave the ground.
Good counter.
But when you're fast, you can get away with it.
He's been able to allow, but not allow. Marquez has landed some big body shots in a row. So Munoz always springs back with 2 or 3 counters as he's working now, putting in some good work.
The corner of Munoz, Henry Ramirez trying to compel him to keep working. Again, you do have to wonder, what is the gas tank like considering that horrid weight cut? And even though he had an 8-week camp, you know, losing 40+ pounds during that time period, it can do a lot to one's body.
Very, very dangerous.
Looks like the eyes affected him more and more. Good combination. 1, 2, 3 landed by Marquez.
Yeah, definitely eyes are troubling him. He's blinking excessively, but it's not stopping his hands because he's letting his hands go.
And he was blinking before that cut started bleeding, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I called that out in the first one.
Munoz missing over the top and not missing with that one. Nice right hand and a left. Forcing Marquez temporarily to take a step back.
Beautiful.
Here's a little bit of an edge from Marquez as he tries to get that power shot back with a nice right hand.
He tends to do that. He tends to end the combinations with a one, with a jab, you know, a push jab.
Yes, indeed. Marquez taking his time, though, a lot different, you know, different pace than what we normally see him in.
Right. Still probably winning this fight, Marquez. That was a good round for Munoz.
For sure. Showing his skill level.
How do you feel? Okay. Up and down, short. Boom. Don't look for the overhand right. Look at the hand. How do you feel? Okay. So let it go. You got it. You got them. He's ready to go.
Round 4 begins. Esteban Munoz entering this one on a 3-fight win streak. Hoping to keep that alive here tonight against Giovanni Marquez. And Munoz has done some good work in moments, but the vast majority of the moments in this one have been produced by Gio Marquez. Right hand to the body there from Marquez, and there again is that left hook, the one that had Munoz in trouble earlier on in the contest. There's another one. Make it 3.
They trade hooks there, though. Munoz landed one himself. We know that Marquez wants to make a statement today, especially with Scooby being in the building. Send a message.
But that right hand was a bit of a statement right there, Marquez.
Came flush over the top, rocking the head back of Munoz on that one.
Yeah, Munoz is a little sneaky. See, he usually does a leaping jab, but this time he switched it from a leaping jab to a leaping left hook.
And he almost switches stands at times when he lunges in.
Like a Manny Pacquiao, walking in.
See Kurt Scooby in the bottom right of your screen, studying every move of Marquez in this one as Munoz tries to leap in with that left hand again.
Good
Another check left hook there from Marquez. That has been a money shot for him here tonight.
Great timing and great defense afterwards.
Looping right afterwards.
Loving shot there from Marquez. He brings that right hand downstairs. Little extra zip on these shots from Marquez.
Yep.
Might be feeling as though Munoz is feeling these shots.
Munoz is having his moments, but is he doing enough to even come close to winning a round? Not yet.
Say Marquez, go back to that eye, that eye that he's having trouble with, which is the left eye that's blinking a lot. Go back to that left eye with the right, straight right.
Marquez just missing with that same left hook. The elbow almost wrapping around the head of Munoz. Just got out of the way of that one. And that'll do it for the round.
This round coming up. Okay? You good?
I'm not tired of answering the question about fighting in my dad's shadow. It just comes with the territory, and it gives me more viewership, more exposure, so I just take it as a positive. I expect to make a name for myself just by continuing to be victorious, and once I win world titles, multiple world titles, is when I'll separate from just being my dad's son.
Work behind the dad. Work behind the dad. Watch his counter. He's only a 1-2.
Seems like Shakur Stevenson might be in the building.
Combination, like we hit, boom.
Frequent sparring partner of Giovanni Marquez, or I guess it would be the other way around. Of course, Marquez, a member of many a Shakur Stevenson camp over the years.
Can't believe you called that 3-division champ a sparring partner. They share the ring, yes.
Yes.
Former unified.
You know, he calls in Shakur every once in a while.
Right. See Marquez able to flow between stances here. Of course, his father, Raul Marquez, you heard him talking about him in between rounds. Southpaw pressure fighter.
Also a colleague of yours that you called many fights with.
Going back to an earlier point, you know, that is part of something that Raul Marquez and Giovanni Marquez are having to kind of navigate and work out amongst themselves. Of course, Raul was a very different fighter than his son is. Giovanni Marquez has a slickness to his operation that Raul preferred to just kind of plow forward and be more aggressive. So they're kind of learning to speak one another's language and how he can best help his son with this style as he finds his own identity in the ring.
Yeah, even with that style, though, Raul was a decorated amateur and an Olympian.
They might share the same killer instinct.
Yeah.
Marquez blocking a lot of shots from Munoz during that 20-second sequence or so. Nice short right hand there on the inside from Marquez.
For a guy that lost 40 pounds, Munoz is in shape.
Yeah, very much so. Doesn't seem like he's losing any speed or steam or energy. He's being beaten to the punch thus far.
It's a good right hand by Munoz there.
Double right, sneaky, but not too much mustard on it.
No, it wasn't. It was just a shot that landed.
Wow.
It's a better right hand there from Marquez.
Oh, yeah.
Munoz steps back out of the way. They can't get out of the way of that one. 2 shots has Munoz with his back against the ropes.
Little mouse.
Looks like a mouse now developing underneath the eye. The other eye of Esteban Munoz, who comes back with a right hand of his own.
This doesn't seem like he can hurt Marquez at all. So far in this bout. Good stab to start the round to the body by Marquez.
And that has been consistent from Marquez all night long as round 6 begins.
And Munoz answers back. The same stab to the body.
Nice right hand over the top there from Munoz.
Great combination.
And Munoz isn't a particularly high output guy, but he does have hand speed and he does have foot speed when he gets those shots off.
Good accuracy.
Done some good work.
Yeah. Marquez just appears to be the stronger fighter and then heavier puncher.
other thing he's been able to do, and Barack, you could speak to this, without getting warned for posting or doing anything illegal, he's been able to control a lot of the action just with that lead hand. It doesn't have to be a hard jab, but like this, there's nothing that Munoz can really do. Even when he fires that right hand, there's not enough space for him to actually get to the target.
No, I mean, he's keeping the distance accurately. And another thing is, like, there's nothing like hurting your opponent to give you the confidence. So now he's a little bit more loose, a little bit more elusive, playing around in there. I like this, Marquez.
And even when Munoz lands shots, he's not in the right position to have any leverage on those shots because they're leaping, they're out of position, so they're not doing any damage.
Shoe shine combination on the inside there from Marquez. Nice right hand, though, from Munoz.
Yes, sneaky right.
I mean, Marquez maybe playing around a little bit too much there. Got touched with the right hand from Munoz.
You know, outside of that left hook that hurt him early in the fight, I haven't seen Munoz hurt since then. And he got hit with some good shots.
You see the face swelling and marking on Munoz, but you're right. Other than that left hook that had him wobbled against the ropes, he's been able to absorb these shots and keep firing back. Munoz looking for a counter uppercut on the ropes. Need a good two-punch combination to the body for his efforts.
Both guys trading right hands there.
Munoz keeps getting to keep his right hand up. I think Marquez needs to go back to that left hook. It's there.
I think Marquez also has to thinking twice because he's getting countered at times, so he's not that freely going in there to land big shots.
I mean, this is the best blue corner fighter of the night.
For sure.
Munoz is a pretty good fighter.
Well, here's a pretty good fighter, I would say, as well. Shakur Stevenson, maybe the best defensive artist in the sport of boxing today. One of the very best fighters on the planet.
Indeed, he's in our top 10 pound for pound.
Yeah, has an incredible fight coming up soon against Zepeda.
An incredible mesh of styles in that one, a fight that both men have been calling for quite some time. Cannot wait to see Shakur in the ring with William Zepeda.
And what it is he's a boxing fan. When you speak to Shakur, he'll tell you he knows everything that's going on currently in the sport.
And that's why he's here. I mean, Shakur loves the sport. He rarely turns down an opportunity to go watch boxing.
He's probably tweeting about our broadcast right now.
He said they call me a sparring partner.
Round 7 underway here.
Hey, that was Corey call.
No. Pure accident.
No doubt. Do we feel that Giovanni here is maybe comfortable cruising with a decision victory here and not applying enough pressure or putting his foot on the gas enough to get a stoppage here? I'm getting that energy.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I just think he's in there with a good guy, you know, who's a little tricky, kind of like Magic Wolf was tricky against Terrence Crawford, you know, feinting and, you know.
Hard to time.
Right. So he's just trying to pick those spots, trying to pick the right spots.
As Munoz lands another sneaky right hand.
It's not like he hasn't hurt him like that.
Good moment here for Marquez. Munoz just pasted against the ropes right now. Free shots to the body being landed there by Giovanni Marquez, who lands to the body, then gets out of the way of the counter right hand. An adjustment made just 20 seconds later from Marquez, but look at Munoz doing some good work to the body.
And upstairs.
Might not be hurting Marquez, but they're scoring points. Marquez is landing
Big overhand right there from Marquez. See the sweat flying across the ring. Back comes Munoz again with a right hand of his own.
Game opponent here, very tricky. Might not be doing enough to win and secure any rounds, but he's making Giovanni think twice at times.
Good work this round for Munoz. Both men having success. Munoz might have had already to this point the most offensive success he's had in a singular round in this round. I still don't know if he's won the round, but the work that he's done might have been the cleanest that we've seen from him thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, has he done enough to win a round? I guess we'll have to see the last 30 seconds of this round. But yes, you're right, Corey. He's done the best work in this round throughout this fight.
Blood starting to cover the trunks of Esteban Munoz as well.
And this is the first time we see Munoz moving forward and pushing Giovanni back a little bit. Outside of being on the ropes right now.
Final 10 seconds of the round. As Giovanni Marquez shows off a little footwork. Head back to the stools ahead of the final round. Oh, boy. And Giovanni Marquez off camera with a little ode to Degeneration X there a moment ago.
Told him, get back to your corner.
It was a pretty competitive round. These hard shots. Marquez had a couple of moments like this where he had him up against the ropes and was able to unload big power shots on him. The straight right was just landing and just, I think, really affected Munoz, but he's not giving up.
Round 8 underway, the 8th and final round. What's been another good test here for Giovanni Marquez. Good effort tonight here from Esteban Munoz. Again, considering the circumstances. Guys, you think of a guy that lost 40 pounds ahead of this fight, who admitted that when he was a kid, he hated running and conditioning so much that he quit soccer, and his mom didn't believe he would actually continue in boxing. This is a man who's been pretty energetic for 8 rounds against a good fighter in Gio Marquez.
No, clearly he's in shape to be able to move like that. He landed a couple of good shots, spun around him, so his legs are in shape even after the 40 pounds he lost.
From Marquez again.
From the left-handed stance.
Going between stances, which he can do as he takes that left hand to the body and now through the middle with uppercuts. This is just pure heavy work here from Giovanni Marquez, but he gets caught with a right hand from Munoz. Now a deep breath from Munoz, and understandably so. These are heavy combinations being landed by Marquez.
He wants to close the show.
You can tell Marquez was up and waiting off his stool for a long time in between rounds, just soaking in the crowd as you hear the chants of Gio at the Owl's Nest.
That's the third flurry. You talk about in shape. Gio's in shape.
In the last round.
Final minute of the contest.
Come back with that left hook. It's there.
Yeah.
Another flurry from Marquez. He is emptying the gas tank here in the 8th.
Lunging left hook by
Yeah, he got touched by that hook, and there's a little bit of a mouse underneath the eye where that left hook landed as well. Marquez is going to need a nice pair of shades tomorrow, because he was certainly in a fight here against Esteban Munoz. This counter to the body there from Munoz, and a right hand as well. A gutsy effort from Esteban Munoz. But Giovanni Marquez, just too much here tonight in his hometown.
He feels that he got a victory, Marquez, and he noticed that his arch rival Scooby was outside, so he has a couple of choice words for him. And Scooby was yelling right back at him. I mean, I seen Scooby intently watch every movement from Marquez. Like, this is the fight that needs to happen. This is the fight that both of these guys want. And it's nothing like coming to see your opponent fight. Let's look at these highlights. Man, it was a very competitive fight. Marquez definitely has the edge, and he's feeling like the victor here. Munoz is looking like he understands that Marquez won, but he gave a good account for himself. A lot of 1-2s and a lot of combination with the one, but the harder shots was definitely by Marquez. Kept him up against the ropes a lot. Hurt his eye early and just stayed on him. It took a lot of energy. This was the last round. It was just a beautiful, beautiful fight. But shout out to both men.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 8 rounds inside the OTX ring, the official scorecard reads as follows. Judges Reyes and Sittern turned in identical scores of 78-74. And Judge Weaver scores at 79-73. All 3 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. And now, WBA Continental America's Gold Super Lightweight Champion. It ain't nothing but a G-10. Giovanni Marquez.
Thanks, guys. Gio, first off, congratulations on the win. How would you rate your performance today?
First and foremost, I want to give all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to give a big shout out to all the Houston fans, toda la raza mexicana, gracias. And I give myself a C+, B-.
What was, he seemed tricky in there at times and kind of springy with counter shots, even though you were landing the hardest shots in there. Or what was the hardest thing to deal with him in there?
I would say I had, full control. Just I wanted to get crafty and work on things. I could have easily dominated the whole fight boxing and not get touched, but I want to give the fans a show. I want to give the fans excitement. So, you see the flurries and things like that. So, just a little bit stuff I need to work on, my inside game, things like that.
Yeah, your father said, in the fighting meetings that he wanted you to start pacing yourself. So in regards to that, do you feel like you executed what you guys wanted to work on?
I think I did well. Like I said, I give myself a C+, B-, and it's back to the drawing board. I'm going to get better each and every fight.
Well, look, just to address the elephant in the room, obviously, for the last year or so, there's been a fighter that's been fighting on OTX that's been calling you out rigorously. How much do you have that same, eagerness to fight him? And I'm talking about Kurt Scooby.
First of all, this guy came to my city to see me fight. He's out here in Big Bear trying to stalk me and stuff. So this guy wants to fight. And I never shy down to a challenge. I'm up for it. I've been wanting this fight since I was like 5-0, so I'm here for it.
Well, he's right here next to me. How bad do you want this fight, Scoob?
You don't sound confident. I'm gonna break you.
I'm gonna break you. I came to Big Bear. I walked you down. I walked you down in your Houston, Texas.
No, you
I'm
didn't.
gonna break you.
No, you didn't.
I'ma break you.
You called me. You called me
I'ma
all buddy,
break
buddy.
you.
You
I'ma
gonna break
break
shit.
I'ma
You ain't gonna break
I'ma
shit.
break you. You don't sound confident. I'm gonna break you.
Look at
break
you.
you. Yeah,
Look at you.
yeah,
I'ma
yeah.
snatch that
Break
chain.
you. I'ma
I'ma
break
snatch
you.
that chain,
I'ma
boy.
snatch this.
I'ma snatch that chain.
Yeah.
Guys,
Wow.
All right, well, things getting a little out of hand in there. Kurt Scooby confronting Giovanni Marquez. We said he's been hounding him all across the United States. He showed up at training camp.
Is that blood on the chest of Marquez?
From where, we don't know. We hope it's not from Kurt Scooby.